Welcome to the boardroom, everyone. I'm stepping in as your managing director today for this executive pitch masterclass. We are looking at a highly critical client brief, your Cambridge AS level Afrikaans language exam, specifically the high tariff topic area, war and peace, ethnic, religious, and ideological conflicts. Now, I see this all the time with my junior consultants. Take consultant Alex, for example. Alex has excellent data points, knows all the facts, but has absolutely poor executive summary delivery. Then you have consultant Sam. Sam is a highly persuasive speaker, really talks the talk, but completely lacks the physical asset and case study backing to prove the point. The difference between an average B grade, like Alex or Sam, and an elite A-star grade consultant often comes down to mastering the exact structural architecture of this specific topic. Today, we're going to fix the pitch and optimize your approach to analyzing these complex texts. Let's get to work.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's session. First, we'll look at the A-star difference. Second, core theoretical principles. Third, technical methodology. And finally, critical examiner insights.
All right, Section 1, the A-star difference. Let's look at what separates the top performers from the rest of the pack. To secure top marks, to essentially win this contract, we need to completely shift our academic approach. Let's contrast a standard approach with an elite one. A standard B-grade approach, kind of like our friend Alex, relies on just memorizing facts and dropping them onto the page. It demonstrates a superficial breadth of knowledge. Honestly, it's just a data dump of events. But the elite A-star grade assessment framework, that demands analytical depth. The principal examiner reports consistently highlight that top-tier candidates build clear cross-topic connections. For instance, instead of just stating that an ethnic conflict occurred in your text, an elite response is going to show how an ideological text about historical displacement directly impacts modern social realities, or maybe linguistic divides in an Afrikaans-speaking context. That analytical depth, that is the A-star difference.
Moving right along to Section 2, core theoretical principles. This is the bedrock of your proposal.
So, the official assessment framework outlines 3 distinct cognitive domains. Think of these as our absolute compliance standards. First, knowledge and understanding. This means knowing your specific Afrikaans vocabulary regarding war and peace. Words like oorlog for war, vrede for peace, and conflict for conflict. You have to actually understand the facts of the source text. Second, analysis. This is how you process that raw data to show exactly how and why these conflicts escalate. And third, evaluation. This is your ability to judge the impact and significance of those conflicts based strictly on the provided Afrikaans text. Successful candidates, the ones securing the A-star, demonstrate high-level competence across all 3 of these domains simultaneously. You can't just be Sam and have persuasive evaluation without the knowledge, right? You need all 3.
To satisfy those cognitive domains, your conceptual framework relies on 3 foundational pillars. Number 1, precise definitions. Look, you cannot analyze a text on ideological conflict if you haven't clearly defined the ideology at play. Is it nationalism? Is it historical segregation? Modern political divides? Define it first. Number 2, identifying causal relationships. You absolutely must prove what triggered the conflict. You have to distinguish the actual root causes from mere catalysts. And number 3, integration with other syllabus areas. The absolute best analyses show how an ethnic or religious conflict intersects with, say, youth culture, environmental issues, or media representation within the Afrikaans-speaking world. It's all about building that comprehensive worldview.
Okay, Section 3, technical exam methodology. This is where we talk about execution. Now, before we get into the technical methodology, let's pause the deck for just a second. To ensure your academic portfolio remains highly competitive, take a moment right now to subscribe to our channel, Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams, and enable notifications for our weekly consulting insights. You do not want to miss these strategies. Okay, let's resume. Let's look at the method mark strategy. This is a crucial concept. Examiners don't just want a concluding summary. They want to see the architecture of your argument. They actively reward the process of your problem solving. It's an assessment approach where marks are awarded for your systematic processing, your clear working, and your structural methodology. If your essay structure analyzing an Afrikaans passage is logical and sound, you are actually accumulating marks for your methodology as you write, not just for hitting the right final conclusion.
So how do we actually execute this? I see junior consultants like Alex and Sam mess up their paragraph formatting all the time. Here is your 5-step standardized procedural sequence to fix that pitch and align your syntax perfectly. Step 1, identify key elements from the provided Afrikaans texts, and you have to do this under a strict time limit. Step 2, apply the relevant theoretical principles we just discussed. Step 3, Execute your analysis with clear working. This means structuring your paragraphs logically. Think of a peel matrix. Point, evidence, explanation, link. Step 4. Verify your results. Ask yourself, does your textual evidence actually support your claim? And step 5. Present your findings in the appropriate format using precise terminology. This right here, this is your ultimate analytical workflow.
Now let's run a quick live audit workshop. Imagine you have a 60-second visual timer ticking down, and you need to extract the highest value insights from a text block. The comparative analysis protocol demands absolute rigor here. A weak student is only going to point out the differences. A top-tier executive-level candidate identifies similarities and differences. You must seamlessly use Afrikaans comparative connectives to bridge your ideas, words like verder for furthermore or darentien for conversely. You must support every single point with hard evidence from the text. And crucially, you must draw conclusions about relative importance. Don't just tell me two conflicts are different. You need to tell the examiner which difference is the most structurally significant to the passage.
All right, let's move into our final phase, Section 4, Critical Examiner Insights. Let's look at the actual feedback from the board.
Let's do a quick risk assessment on this. The Principal Examiner report states very clearly, candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Always define terms before using them in extended responses. This is the exact sentence where a sample answer loses all structural credibility. Skipping your foundational definitions completely destroys your pitch. For instance, if you use the Afrikaans term ideological oral führing, which means ideological warfare, without actually defining what specific ideology is at play in the context of the text provided, you have literally lost the examiner's trust in your very first paragraph. Don't make that rookie mistake.
And this brilliantly illustrates the necessity of what we call evaluative thinking. This is the hallmark of the elite candidate. Evaluative thinking is the ability to question assumptions, to consider alternative perspectives, and to justify your decisions with concrete physical evidence. If an Afrikaans text presents a particular ethnic group as the sole aggressor in a conflict, an evaluative thinker isn't just going to accept that at face value. They will interrogate the text for bias, or they'll look for underlying historical contexts that complicate that narrative. That is how you close the deal.
So, to ensure you maximize your return on investment and get those marks, here is your Executive Framework Summary Checklist. These are the top 3 exam mistakes you must eliminate from your repertoire right now. Number 1, confusing cause and effect within conflicts. Do not mix up the trigger of a war with its long-term impact. Number 2, forgetting to check format and presentation. If the client brief, the prompt, asks for a formal letter or an article, write in that specific format, not just a generic essay. And number 3, providing generic answers not specific to the given context. Your analysis must strictly align with the specific Afrikaans stimulus material provided on the day, not just general knowledge you memorized beforehand. So, the crucial takeaway here is this. Knowledge without execution is useless. Understanding the theory of conflict analysis is only your first step. You need to take this framework, actively plot out your 5-step procedural sequence, and demand more from your own analytical depth every single time you sit down with a practice text.
You now have the complete structural framework required to dominate the war and peace topic area. The only question left is, how will you apply this methodology to completely restructure your analytical depth in your very next Afrikaans practice paper? It is time to go execute. And before we close this boardroom session, I need you to do one thing. Subscribe to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a strategy session, and drop a comment down below with your current level and your target subject. See you in the next masterclass.